Board of County Commissioners now back in session. Next on the agenda will be Mr. Michael Morone, County Coordinator Report.
Scheduled today, Commissioners. Good morning again. Item number 1 of my report. Informed the board that Mr. Jones, Mr. Doug Schuler, Barnett, Franzak, Barlow, and Schuler and I met to discuss the St. George Island bathroom renovation project. At this meeting, it was decided to scrap the current renovation plans, which are over the $120,000 budget, and start with a fresh new project. Commissioner Jones recommended that the first priority should be to bring the bathrooms into ADA compliance. Mr. Schuler, agreeing with the Commissioner's recommendation, stated that along with the necessary changes for ADA compliance, there should be enough in the budget to replace the roof, replace all the fixtures, add some indoor and outdoor lighting, and add an outside shower. Board action to authorize Mr. Schuler to create a new set of plans for the St. George Island bathroom renovation project. This is based on a request from the board at the last meeting when Mr. Blair was here to try and move that project forward so it'll be ready for the next summer season. I don't know if Commissioner Jones has anything else to add to that.
No, I think you about covered it.
Pleasure of the board.
So moved.
We have a motion by Commissioner Massey.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Sanders. Any further discussion? All those in favor? All opposed? The motion carries.
At your November 7th meeting, the board, this item number 3, by the way. At your November 7th meeting, the board authorized Mr. Stephen Meck, your labor attorney, to update the county's personnel policy and procedures manual. As Attorney Meck is incorporating all of the recent adopted policies, the practice of not allowing employees to transfer their current salary to a lower paying vacant position has not been adopted by motion. In order to incorporate this policy, board action is needed to adopt the following language. If a current employee is hired for the vacant position, he or she will be paid the salary designated for that position for performing the duties thereof. The salary for the prior position will not be paid for the new position. This puts an end to this argument about if I get a job, you know, if I apply for a job in a different department somewhere, I can take my salary with me.
Do you think this is a good thing,
I do.
Mike?
I do.
I do too. Because you take somebody that's been with the county 25 years and they're making 50 grand and they want to come back and occupy a position that you're only going to pay 25 grand
Yeah.
for.
Well,
Right, you know, and you pay it, they're making that much because it'd be like our,
let's take Mark, sir. Mark loves to read. Let's say Mark wants to take his salary to the next vacant library assistant position. That's
Yeah.
a perfect
you know,
example.
stuff like that. Yeah. you
I
know.
make a motion to approve.
We have a motion on the floor by
Second.
Commissioner Sanders, second by Commissioner Jones. Any further discussion?
I have a question. Mr. Chairman. Is this the language that you got from?
Steve, Mr. Attorney Meck, yes,
Okay.
sir. That's why
Okay.
it's in quotes, I'm sorry.
That's all good. Just making sure.
We do have a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 4, FDOT has notified the county that they're in the process of designing plans for replacing Graham Creek Bridge on State Road 65 and would like to receive questions and comments regarding this project. Besides the replacement of the bridge and roadway improvement at the bridge approaches, there will also be some reconstruction of the existing boat ramp located in the southwest quadrant of the bridge site. I'll email a link to the bridge plans, which are 30%, and the roadway plans, which are 60% for your review. FDOT will accept comments and questions until Wednesday, December 20th, which is one day after our next meeting. So,
They're gonna build a brand new one?
yes,
That bridge has been in bad shape for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, a long while, and finally getting it replaced. And adding a new boat ramp there, I think is awesome.
yeah.
I'd like the board to direct county staff to send some comments back on that. I think it's a good project, and looking at the design and all, you know, I'm glad they're doing it, and the new boat ramp's gonna be beneficial for recreational people. I like to launch their boat and fish right there in Graham Creek.
Okay,
I'd like the county staff to respond to that.
okay.
I make a motion.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Massey, second by Commissioner Jones. Any further discussion on behalf of I would say on behalf of the board, Michael?
Yes.
When you're responding to that, so
That-
each commissioner don't have to respond.
Yes.
That's the only one they doing.
As far as I know, it's the only one they emailed me about, that they need comments and questions. If you have any questions or send comments about it right now.
Okay.
We do have a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 5, remind the board of the flag ceremony at the County Library East Point Branch. This ceremony will start at 10 a.m. this Thursday, December 7th. The Tyndall Air Force Honor Guard will be present to raise the flag. Item number 6, remind the board that our next scheduled meeting on Tuesday, December 19th, will be in Carabel at the Carabel City Commission Room located 1001 Gray Avenue. Usually we start our meetings in Carabel at 10. However, because of some advertised public hearings and other items on the agenda, we'll have to start this meeting at 9 a.m. over in Carabel. And finally, the public doesn't have this on their copy. I got this late yesterday evening. At your November 7th meeting, I informed the board that we were waiting for FDOT to approve the change project scope for the Mill Road FDOT SCOP-funded project. The original scope of work included approximately 1.67 miles of widening and resurfacing and 3.10 miles of new construction, striping, signage, minor drainage improvements, and grassing along Mill Road, beginning at the intersection of State Road 30 and continuing towards Burnt Bridge Road. The lowest bid received, which was from Roberts and Roberts, was $644,000 over the budgeted $1.5 million. So, Dewberry Purple Rich was asked to change the scope of the project to meet the budget amount. Both FDOT and Roberts have approved the amended scope of work. Get my wording right. Board action to award the Mill Road FDOT funded project to Roberts with the amended scope of work to, I'm sorry, let me say that again. Board action to award the Mill Road FDOT SCOP funded project with the amended scope of work to Roberts.
Pleasure.
So moved.
No, this is what we're going to do. And there's some contingencies, and Attorney Schuler will clear it up in a few, I'm sure, and then Clay is in the back, he can help. We're going to award it for the amount that Roberts originally bid, which was $2.1 million. And then, right after that, it's contingent on Roberts agreeing to a change order for where they were, a deductive change order for the difference where they were over the budgeted amount. So if I've confused you, I'll let Attorney Schuler and Mr. Clay Kennedy stand up and
I don't have to have
unconfuse the
that.
board.
What changed in the scope of work, though? What changed in the
They
project?
reduced the.
They reduced the length, so I'm only presuming that they
3
reduced
point-
the new construction.
Yeah, they reduced it by 1, I'm sorry, I got Clay's notes right here.
We decreased the length about 1.25 miles.
Yeah, mile and a
So
quarter.
it's not going up to Burnt Truck Road, it's going to go,
You're stopping
I mean,
1.25
Burnt
miles,
Bridge.
give or take, short of that. Burnt Bridge Road.
They just reduced the length of the road to reduce the cost.
which up there it don't matter because it's
Right.
in the middle of nowhere anyway. So,
Well,
Yes, and-
I'm not gonna say that.
As long as I get my last house in, I'm fine.
well, that's what I was.
Yeah.
That's what
Um,
Up there at T-Burnt Bridge, it's in the middle of nowhere.
But I got this late yesterday evening from FDOT. That's why I added it, at the last moment, so we can get it. done
And I'll make
today.
a second on Mr.
I can show you
Commissioner
on the map
Massey.
where it's gonna end.
Motion.
Or if y'all would like to pass that, I only have one copy, but that's basically the new ones.
I'll scan it.
Bring
and-
that over.
Yeah.
To win.
Oh, and for the record, Commissioners, I think Mike did a fine job in explaining the award of the original, subject to it being contingent on the amendment agreed to by Roberts and DOT.
And let me ask, sir, do they also need to approve the change order right after they approve the
Yes.
award today also? Okay.
You can actually combine everything. in
Combine
one
both?
motion.
Yeah, that would be better.
Yes. Okay, that's all we can do.
We can try to do another phase.
Yeah, that's all we can do.
And to be clear, Commissioners, you're going to actually approve the award and the change order in one motion, so everything is together, and it's contingent and accepting, Roberts accepting the change order. So we're doing both, if I,
Commissioner Massey, you made the motion?
Yeah,
Do you understand we're approving both at the
Yeah.
same time?
right.
Okay, and who did the second?
I did.
Commissioner Sanders, you understand we We're doing both at the same
You
time.
got that look, Commissioner.
So we
You
do that.
understand what you're doing. You're gonna bid it out, then you're gonna rescind and go back to your,
No, we're awarding the bid to Robertson Roberts.
no, I'm talking about, he's gonna drop his bid back to what it.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes,
got
sir.
it.
Yes.
We do have a motion and a second on the floor. Any further discussion? All those in favor? All opposed? That motion carries.
Commissioner, that is my report today.
Anyone have anything for Mr. Morone? Any of the board members? Next,
Just one thing, Mr. Chairman, if you don't mind. I attended the Lanark Village Association meeting last night, and for the attorney and for Mr. Morone, there is a group of the Lanark people that's wanting to see some changes done to ordinance number 97-17 and some other ordinances that we have, like 2006 dash something. Anyway, it pertains to Lanark Village, and so I've told them to write a letter and to get with Mr. Morone and Attorney Schuler and to see what we can do to help accommodate them. And basically, what one of the issues is you have too many cars out there for the people that lives out there. And I don't think that I don't know if we'll ever solve that problem, but we need to take a different look at it and see what we can do, because Alan tried to solve it for many years and wasn't able to solve it. So, but anyway, I just wanted to inform the board that Mr. Morone and Mr. Schuler will be looking into stuff like that for Lanark.
As soon as I get that letter, I'll let the board know.
What's happening, the community's becoming younger and more people have cars than they used to be. It's a problem.
I mean, what are you supposed to do? I mean, we can't limit the amount of cars that use a public road.
Yeah, well, I know, I don't know. That's why it's an unsolvable problem, other than just trying to create some parking off-site parking, so to speak, maybe somewhere where they can, people who don't drive every day, maybe they park their cars there, I don't know.
Well, one of the issues is several spots is boats, and they have a storage area back there that, you pay each month for or whatever. And they want them to be able to utilize that storage area and get those boats out, because 97-17 addresses boats in your yard and stuff like that. So, I mean, we got to fine tune some of that stuff. So, anyway,
Okay.
as long as Mr. Schuler is involved in it, I know it'll be done right. So,
There's several parking spots took up by them boats.
so it's a lot of the ordinances that pertain to particularly just Lanark Village. So, because, it has the S4 zoning of the special district, so there's some issues out there that they want to kind of fine tune and bring it back to the board for some approval. I just want the board to know.
Anything else from Mr. Morone while he's up here? We'll move on to the county attorney's report.
Good morning, Commissioners. 2 items for you. One just came up today on this letter from Mr. Mallory. I would like your permission to speak with Mr. Pierce and also with your county engineering firm that has the surveying service and discuss the possibility of possibly going out and actually surveying the county right-of-way at the intersection of Tom Roberts Road and Alligator Drive to determine exactly how much room we do have there and perhaps how much room may be necessary to create a proper turn lane turning from Alligator Drive onto Tom Roberts Road.
I haven't spoken to Clay about this, but I'm sure, Mr. Chair, I'm sure the surveying of that whole area is gonna be done anyway, because we're trying to recreate the right-of-way, so I'm sure we're gonna resurvey that whole area there. So it won't be a separate survey, just that intersection. I'm sure we're gonna do the whole thing. I'm looking at Clay because we gotta reestablish the water, we gotta reestablish the high water line and everything else out there.
And that will be fine, but also to include potentially looking at, is there a public necessity for taking any of the property of the district in order to make that turn? I guess according to whatever the proper engineering standards are. I mean, I'm not the engineer, but it at least it just needs to be looked at. And if there's a public necessity for a taking, then there's a discussion that can be had in the future. And I just want Mr. Pierce and myself and the engineer to be able to look at that issue with the permission of the board.
Who made the motion in a second?
There was no motion or second at this point.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Jones, second by Commissioner Lockley. Any further discussion? All those in favor? All opposed? Motion carried.
And just to be clear for the record, this is just to look at the facts. There's not any action other than that. The second action item concerns your canvassing board. I sent you an email a few weeks ago explaining that I have a conflict of interest in representing the canvassing board for the primary election in 2018. My brother is one of the judicial candidates for county judge, so I have recused myself from representing the canvassing board for the primary in August of 2018. You do need a replacement attorney. Judge Russell has requested, and also Supervisor Riley, that the board agreed to retain Attorney Bill Graham out of Tallahassee to act as substitute counsel for the canvassing board for the primary. So one of the two action items this morning is to request board approval to retain Attorney Graham to represent the canvassing board as it relates to any of the judicial races or actually for the entire canvassing board for that primary of August 2018.
So moved.
So,
We have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Sanders, second by Commissioner Lockley. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
And then the second part of that motion, Commissioners, is Mr. Graham would need to be sent to the canvassing board workshop in April of 2018. That is a workshop that I ordinarily attend myself. So my request is that, since I'll be representing the canvassing board in the November general election, that you authorize both myself and Mr. Graham to attend the canvassing board meeting, which will take place in Orlando, and I think it's April 18th of next year.
So moved.
We have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Lockley,
Second.
second by Commissioner Sanders. Any further discussion? That is required that you do that. It's a requirement.
Attending the workshop?
Yes,
I think it's required in this case, yes, sir.
yes. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
I don't have anything further for the board this morning.
Any questions for the attorney from the board members? Next will be commissioner comments. There being no commissioner comment, public comment? Being no public comment?
Just to remind you guys, 1:30 this afternoon in this same room, we'll have our workshop with CHC and to discuss the management agreement this week.
We will.
Yeah. Yes, sir, 1:30 this afternoon.
1:30?
Yes.
Meeting is adjourned.